Excited to be here today. One thing that I do or I require typically when I have opportunities such as this, and this I am very grateful and humbled to be a part of, is that at the appropriate times we are going to need energy because this is an absolute celebration of a man who gave his life to educating our youth here in the city of Wilmington, and it's also a celebration of a new Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy for our students and families here in the city of Wilmington. And today we want to celebrate that. We want this to be more than just the recognition. We want this to be an absolute celebration because it's deserved. It's well-deserved here in the city of Wilmington. It's well-deserved to be named after Maurice Pritchett Sr., and it's well-deserved for the students here in the city of Wilmington. So as we go throughout the course of this afternoon, in the next hour, I do encourage you and I ask you to please, please, please celebrate with us as we do that. So I'm going to try something here right now that I probably shouldn't, so I'm going to do it anyway. But we're going to do a slight call and response because this is really about, again, the students here and Maurice Pritchett. So when I say Maurice, I need people to respond to me and say Pritchett. Can we try that? Maurice! Maurice! All right, and I'm going to do that periodically throughout this presentation, so please, I need you to work with me so I don't look like I'm crazy standing up here without the support. All right, so thank you to the drum line. Let's give it up for the drum line that came in and brought us in. At this time, I am going to ask our Bayard Orchestra to please present with us the national anthem. So if you're seated, if you could stand, that would be great as they present the national anthem from our Bayard Orchestra, please. That's right. Our students are talented, aren't they? Absolutely. Thank you very much. Please have a seat. I would also like to thank Miss Juanita Pritchett and her family. Can we give it up for the Pritchett family, please? Our next guest here to the stage, speaking and giving a few remarks, will be our interim superintendent, Bob Andrzejewski. Dr. Andrzejewski previously served for the Christina School District in 2015-16. He's the executive director of the Delaware Mentoring Council from 2010 to 2014, and after retiring from the Red Clay Consolidated School District in 2009. Please note, presently, he also serves as the CEO of Donate Delaware, a nonprofit where he volunteers his time. Please welcome Dr. Andrzejewski to the stage, please.
Thank you, Mr. Ingram. I tell you what, this guy has energy, and Glasgow is blessed to have him as their leader. So let's give a hand for Mr. Ingram. I'm going to have a hard time replicating the enthusiasm, but I am excited to be here and actually honored. Mr. Pritchett, as I used to call him, and I go way back. We worked together as colleagues. We worked together as we became friends, as many of you are. And he was an inspiration for me because he always talked about the kids. And I would hear stories from people, families that would come to Bancroft. He helped them get food. He gave kids clothing, shoes. The man was just an incredible legacy in this community. And what an honor to have this new facility, this beautiful place, named after him. So again, I'm honored and humbled to be part of this ceremony, and I just encourage all of you, the family, the friends, the community leaders, and others, to support the young people here and the staff and the leadership to make Maurice Academy the super special place that it is. Because we don't want just the new building, we want to be able to see our students do better and better and better. And you know, years ago, I'll tell this and I'll let you go, I had a president's wife visit me at Shortledge when I was in Red Clay, and right up the street. And we were able with a great team to get those students achieving well enough to pass back then the state test. So it can be done. So congratulations to all of you involved with this. And Maurice, he was a true champion for children. Thank you.
Before this next speaker comes to the stage, this is an opportunity for me to try what I said earlier. Maurice! There we go. I love it. Love the energy. At this time, we will have remarks from a number of influential people here in the state of Delaware. I preface this lightly and nicely as I can. You have 2 to 3 minutes max for your remarks. And I did have a bell, but they told me that was inappropriate. But if I walk towards you slowly, please, that means your time is rounding out. But first, up here we have the governor of the great state of Delaware, Mr. John Carney.
Butcher just gave me a couple extra minutes. No, it's just, I just got off a plane, literally, from Chicago. And I watched when I was in Chicago history in the making. And now as I arrive to this ribbon cutting for this wonderful school, I'm experiencing history right here on the east side of Wilmington. I really didn't know what to expect, but when the Bayard Orchestra started playing the national anthem, and I was looking at the flag over here, it became very apparent to me that if you stick together, anything's possible here in the United States of America, and anything is possible here in our great city. I've been waiting for this day for a long time, all the way back to the start of my administration when we created a partnership with the Christina School District. And I want to take this opportunity to thank the Department of Education and the Christina School District, Dr. Andrzejewski, and all the folks at the district for working together as we have over the last several months. One of the things that we decided to do was to invest in the school buildings in the district. And this building behind me represents that here on the east side, and we made a significant investment on the west side. And I have to thank the legislators are here, Senator Dave Sokola in particular, who bought into our plan to do this with 100% state funding, not calling on the taxpayers to raise their taxes to do it. As I wrap up my term as governor for all of you, I've had a lot of time to reflect on the work that we've been doing. Clearly, the most important thing that we've done is to work on providing resources to low-income children and English learners, and to make investments in the educators who help them, and in forming the Wilmington Learning Collaborative. And Dr. Laura Burgos is here. Dr. Burgos, stand up and we recognize all the folks that are part of that collaborative. In trying to get public support for the collaborative, I was knocking on doors just around the corner from Bancroft on H Street. And a family came to the door, and I asked them, told them what we were up to doing, and she said, my kids don't go to Bancroft. My kids go to a school outside of the city of Wilmington. Bancroft was right down the street. My hope is that this building, I firmly believe that this building will bring a lot of those families back to this neighborhood and into this beautiful school, and that's part of what we're trying to do. And the name of the school couldn't be more perfect, because Maurice Pritchett brought the love for those children to his work every single day. Juanita and the family, please stand up and be recognized. The Pritchett family here in the front row. All the way up from Atlanta, some of them. But we all know that a school is much more than bricks and mortar. It's a pillar of this community and a place of learning and opportunity. There will be learning breakthroughs in this building. There will be first days and graduations planned and celebrated in this building. There will be challenging days and ups and downs in this building. There will be lifelong friends made in this building. And you'll always remember the first day that you walked through this door and saw this beautiful building, and the potential in every one of the students that will walk through the doors of Maurice Pritchett Junior Academy. That sounds pretty good. So the educators have already embodied that message to their students every day. To the educators who are here, who show up every day for their students, this building is worthy of the great work that you do every single day. And you all have the most important job of all. A new building, as was said, won't solve everything. And we have a lot of work to do together to make sure that our children get where they need to be. But as I said at the outset, if we work together, we can do anything here in Wilmington and in our great state of Delaware. Let's cut this. I used to be lieutenant governor. I know how to cut a ribbon. Thank you all for coming. Enjoy the day.
He got a little bit more time because I'm a little afraid of my position and what could happen after. Everybody else that comes up, please do your best to get to that time limit. Next, I have a presentation from the Lieutenant Governor, Bethany Hall Long. She is unable to be here with us, but I will read that to you briefly for one moment, please. To the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy team, civic leaders, and community champions, I wish you a warm congratulations. The grand opening of the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy is a truly historic moment, inspired by the work of the beloved Bancroft principal and icon, Maurice Pritchett Sr. This school will leave an indelible mark on the city of Wilmington. I am so thrilled to see this school, the first newly constructed school in the city of Wilmington in decades, to open its doors to families. As a career educator, I believe that every child deserves a quality education. This prestigious academy will not only nurture the well-being of our children, it will set them on a path for success. The teachers and the school staff are critical to these journeys, and I commend them for their tireless dedication as they welcome this new chapter in their lives and in the lives of their students. I join Governor Carney, our federal and state elected officials, Mayor Mike Pritchett, the Christina School District, and the Delaware Department of Education and the Wilmington Learning Collaborative in commemorating this special day. As leaders, we must continuously be responsive to the needs of our constituents and further efforts so all Delawareans thrive. This new school will meet the students and allow them and their dreams to take flight. I look forward to seeing the continued success of our students and teachers as we pursue our goal for an equitable education for all. Bethany Hall Long, Lieutenant Governor. At this time, we will call the mayor of our great city, Mr. Mike Pritchett.
There's somebody in the audience who just watched me walk up those stairs, and she was pretty impressed because I had to go to get shots in my knee the other day because I couldn't get out of bed in the morning. It hurt so much. The shots worked. I'm just delighted to be here. I'm so happy for the folks in this city. We committed years ago that we are going to focus on our energy on the historic East Side. And to date, we have spent $22 million in restoring the housing stock of our neighborhoods. We have done everything we can over here. There's a liquor store right next to where the kids would come and go. We bought it and tore it down. We're doing all the things. There are all those little things. And, you know, I feel so good about what we've done. Crime has plummeted in this neighborhood. We feel so good about the future, but nothing buoyed our spirits more than when the governor said he was going to spend $100 million to redo this school. Now, can't do it without the legislature, so God bless all you guys and thank you very much. But this guy drove this project in my mind, and we couldn't appreciate him for all the commitment he's made to the city here and the housing throughout the city. The governor is right. It's not just sticks and bricks. It's not just repairing houses and repairing streets. It's restoring the soul of a community. And there's nothing that reflects that soul of my mind than what we do for the children who will go to this school. I've toured it. It's magnificent. I think it's going to be inspiration to parents and kids alike. And to the members of the Christiana School District, you can be proud. Donald, you can be proud of this. It's just a magnificent structure. And we pray that everything inside the building is as beautiful as outside. And you're so right. Pritchett would be so proud of this, right? I was talking to little Pritchett. That's a joke. Young Pritchett about his dad. And we shared some stories. They're really sweet, and I thank you for those stories. But ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the day. Let's celebrate the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mayor Pritchett. Maurice! Nah, see, you guys weren't ready. Maurice! All right, come on, a celebration. At this time, we will have our City Council President, Mr. Ernest Trippy Congo.
So for those of you who might not know, this guy right here is my little cousin. So when I came up here, he said, "Man, don't say anything crazy." But I'm not. You have my word. I'm not going to set you up today. But hello, everybody. It is so good to be here today. I want to thank my little cousin for allowing me to be a part of today's celebration. Mr. Pritchett was a man who did not like a lot of recognition. He did not like a lot of accolades. He was just all about the work. So when I was asked to say a few words, I started writing some things down, but I just thought, like, what can I really say about this man, this giant, this icon who has just helped generations of families in our city, in our county, in our state. And I can't put into words what he still means to our city and to our community. So just for a few minutes, I'm just going to talk to all of you, talk to myself about what I think that Mr. Pritchett would want us to be about. This beautiful building, I am so excited, again, just to be in front of it, but it's not about the building. And for him, he knew it wasn't about the building, it was about those kids that are in the building. It's great to have a beautiful building, but we want to make sure that we are preparing these students to have beautiful minds. And Mr. Pritchett, he was a graduate of Howard. And Howard, that was before my time, but I don't think it was a state-of-the-art building like it is now, like this building. But those students who graduated from Howard High, they had teachers who cared and loved them. They had a community who cared and loved them. and they had families who cared and loved them. So we have to make sure that same type of care and love and energy is put into not only the students that are going to be at this academy, but every student from the city of Wilmington. And I think that would be his words to us today. Not to be satisfied with his name being on the building and this new building. I know he's smiling down on us right now, but he would in no way be satisfied. He would want academies throughout this entire city so that every student will have the opportunity that these students who are going here will have. And in closing, I just want to thank you, Miss Juanita, and thank all of you, Mr. Pritchett's children. I know it was not easy sharing him with a community and with families and with a city who needed him, but because of him and because of you, we are all better people. And I can just hope that me as an elected official and every elected official in here just make sure that we make education a priority and that this is not a conversation that we have in another 50 years. We got to make sure that we are not waiting another 50 years to have another new school in Wilmington. We should be celebrating schools every year, new schools in Wilmington every year. And with the help of all of you, with the help of all of us as elected officials, we can make that happen. And I know he didn't just stand up. Not when you gave the governor 20 minutes. But that's all. Thank you so much, everyone. And let's celebrate this awesome school.
All right, thank you, Mr. Congo, for your brief comments. At this time, we will have the leader of education in our great state here of Delaware, in the name of Dr. Mark Holodick. If you could come up, please, sir.
Seven and a half years ago, a newly elected governor convened the Newcastle County superintendents in his office and shared his desire and vision to invest in the city of Wilmington. So when the governor opened with his remarks, he recognized the General Assembly and a lot of people that certainly deserve credit for today in this physical plant. But I know of no one else who championed more for this to happen than our governor, and I thank him. Thank you, Governor. I also had the opportunity toward the end of my career when I first became superintendent to meet Mr. Pritchett. He asked me to call him Pritch, which I never did. I had too much respect for him, what I had heard about him and the influence he had on so many educators in our state. So I called him Mr. Pritchett. I kept meeting with him around initiatives that had to do with improving opportunities and outcomes for kids. So I agree with Mr. Congo when he says that if Mr. Pritchett were here, he'd be incredibly proud, I'm sure, of his name being on this school. But he would expect me as the Secretary of Ed to do one thing, and that is to ensure that the educators in this building, the leaders, the teachers, the paras, the custodians, school nutrition, everyone has the kind of support they need to create the kind of community school and community hub that Pritchett Academy should be, and I'm going to do just that. Thank you.
All right, at this time, I believe he was able to make it. He had a slight delay. If Senator Coons, if you are here, we'd appreciate it if you would make your way to the front. Yes, sir, you are. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, everybody. Forgive me for being just a little late at the beginning of this ceremony. I just flew in from an event that was in Chicago. I don't know if anybody happened to see something that happened in Chicago last night. There was a little bit of joy in Chicago last night, and a decent number of Delawareans. And I shouted a little too much, so my voice is a little hoarse. I had the blessing of being next to our governor, and I saw him smile an awful lot last night. I first met Maurice Pritchett in 1988. And I cannot say enough good things about the heart of this man. Bancroft was named for someone who was a giant in education in Delaware 100 years ago. We name our most important things after the people who are most important to us in our community. And while William P. Bancroft accomplished wonderful things in the 1920s, Maurice Pritchett accomplished amazing things in his 30 years of leadership of Bancroft. And it is completely fitting and righteous that his name should be remembered for generations here at Bancroft Academy and on the east side and across Wilmington and across Delaware. I have a lot of stories I could tell, but I will save you. I was stunned at how open-hearted, determined, generous, and clear-eyed he was, at how he met students as they came in every single morning, at how passionate he was at meeting kids where they were, meeting their needs, and making sure that they were safe, cared for, and fed physically, spiritually, and educationally. Juanita, you should be so proud. To Pritchett's children, you should be so proud, because this giant of a man who had an enormous heart, although I'm told, not from experience, but I am told, if you were with him on the basketball court, you didn't see any of that giant heart. It was all elbows. He was fierce and relentless in his passion for and commitment to children. And when my family and I started a chapter with Art Boswell of the I Have a Dream Foundation here at Bancroft, he did everything he possibly could to make the program work, to fight for children, and to open doors of educational opportunity. I learned a lot from Maurice Pritchett, a lot about being relentless and passionate and caring, and he touched the lives of thousands. Let's celebrate him today in the best possible way by not just putting his name on a beautiful brand new building, by not just recognizing that he is here with us in the spirit of all whose lives he touched, but by telling his story and retaining his model of someone who insisted on educational excellence for children. Thank you all. God bless you.
All right. Thank you, Senator Coons. Maurice! All right, come on. At this time, I would like to call up Senator Darius Brown.
Good afternoon. I would like to thank my Senate colleagues for their support in this project. Those that are here, if you'll wave your hand or stand so that those that are here could recognize you. Senator Dave Sokola, Senator Tizzy Lockman, Senator Kyle Evans-Gay. I think I recognized everybody from the Senate. Bancroft School was an educational institution on Wilmington's east side to develop the minds of young people with a world-class education. Beyond its physical facade, we had a transformational leader. I can't say just his first name. Us on the east side have to call him Mr. Pritchett. Became the head and heart of our communities. He was not just the school principal, but he was one of us. He was from the neighborhood because he grew up right here on Wilmington's east side. I see so many of the kids that grew up with me on the east side here today, and it is a tribute to the legacy of Mr. Pritchett. Mr. Pritchett was the pride of the east side, and for us growing up on the east side, not only did we have Mr. Pritchett, but as we walked to school, to Bancroft, we walked by Mayor Seals' house as the first African-American mayor in the city of Wilmington. Our after-school activities were at People Settlement with Art Boswell leading People Settlement. Mr. Pritchett had us playing basketball in Bancroft as part of the Kappa League. It was a whole lot of Kappas. So for those that say, well, Darius, why are you not a Kappa? Blame that on Josh Martin. There were so many teachers like Miss Legg, Mr. Yilduzian, Mr. Waters, Miss Marshall, Miss Schreiber, Miss Hutchison, Mr. Peel, and Miss Price that invested in us as young people here on the East Side. I can remember at Mr. Pritchett's retirement, Congressman Castle at the time said he was so happy that Mr. Pritchett wasn't running for office for all of the thousands of people that came to his retirement dinner at the Chase Riverfront. Mr. Pritchett was an architect of a learning ecosystem that connected the school to parents, community organizations, and social services. His pioneering work literally changed our lives. I am so proud the new school is being named after my elementary school principal. And it is my hope that his legacy of leadership and love will inspire the faculty, students, and parents once again. I cannot leave this moment without saying thank you to Ms. Pritchett and to the Pritchett family for your investment and your great gift of giving to all of us, Mr. Pritchett, as a part of our lives. And thank you, Governor John Carney, for your investment on Wilmington's East Side, to the kids of the East Side, not only in Bancroft, but with a brand new people settlement, a brand new Kingswood Community Center, a North Wilmington Library, and investing over $300 million in affordable housing. Your commitment to the Wilmington Learning Collaborative has shown your commitment to education for our kids. And I want to make sure on this day that as we celebrate Mr. Pritchett, there's many governors that have made promises, but you are one governor that have kept your promise. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Brown. At this time, we will hear from Representative Stephanie T. Bolden, please, if you could come up.
Maurice! Maurice! That sounds a lot better. Good afternoon. I'm Stephanie T. Bolden, State Representative for the 2nd Representative District, which is in this particular area. It is with immense pride and gratitude that I stand here before you today to celebrate the opening of Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy. This moment marks not just the beginning of a new chapter for education in Wilmington, but also the continuation of a legacy that has inspired many, many generations. Maurice Pritchett Sr. is a name that resonates deeply within our community. At this time, I'd like those persons, the Stafford family, if you are here, to stand up, because these are people that grew up in this neighborhood where the Pritchetts lived. And I saw you in the back, Carol, all the rest of you back there. So stand up and let them know. There they are. Okay. And anyone else that grew up here in this particular neighborhood. Maurice Pritchett, his unwavering commitment to education, his passion for uplifting young minds, his dedication to fostering a brighter future for all have left an incredible mark on our city. This academy bearing his name is a testament, a true testament, to the countless lives that he has touched. Today, we open the doors to a place of learning, growth, and opportunity, a place where students will be challenged, nurtured, and inspired to reach their fullest potential. This academy represents a collective commitment to providing our children with the tools that they need to succeed, not just academically, but to be responsible and be compassionate and engaged in the neighborhood and here. On a personal note, I attended Stubbs School, which was built in 1952. That was one of the first schools, and that's over 72 years when that school was built. had a first and second grade was at number 29 school, which is now Howard. And then, of course, we had Howard High School, which used to be on Orange Street. And then the new school was moved to where we have now Clifford Brown Walk. We were able to walk to school. I walked to Stubbs, which was across the street from where I lived. I was late every day. And I could walk to Bancroft, and I could walk to Howard. The neighbors, the people in the neighborhood knew the children. They knew your name. If you messed up, you got a problem at parents and teachers, etc. So this is the type of community I'm hoping we can rebuild again. Mr. Pritchett went to Delaware State University, was college then. Juanita Pritchett was there when I was a student there. And I saw the romance, how it festered and the whole thing. And not only did he teach here and open up his door to many parents that came and talked to him, there was the respect. And then, of course, they also used to live in Penn Acres, where was it Penn Acres? Yeah, where my cousin Claudia and them lived. And so I know the boys when they grew up. So this is a family that I want to say, because she is my colleague, my friend, and we are sisters in different sororities, but we're still sisters. And I appreciate you, so please, guys, stand up again and let us give you the thanks that we should. And yeah, we can still stand. So as we cut this ribbon, we are not just opening a school, we're opening the doors to a future where every student has a chance to strive. We are honoring a man whose life works has been dedicated to ensuring every child, no matter their background, circumstances, or access to quality education. I want to thank everyone who has worked tirelessly to bring this academy to life, the educators, administrators, community leaders, and most importantly, the parents and students who are the heart of this school. Your dedication and passion has made it possible today, and I also want to thank each and every one of you who had a small part in it that we may not have recognized, but to be here. And just know that a legacy or building is not just a name, but I want you to talk and teach each and every one of your kids who the person was, not just the name and why the building was named after him, but you need to teach them what he did, who he was. The same thing with Howard High School. They need to know the education, because that was the only school blacks could attend that used to stay here in the city with parents of other kids so that they could go to a high school. They came from Maryland, from Pennsylvania, and New Jersey, and went home on weekends. So these are important things. Stubbs School, these are named after African American people. So know it. Don't just know a Stubbs School, know who it was. Okay, know it. And I'm preaching to the choir because I'm a retired teacher. I love teaching. I taught high school, and I will always be a part of the kids in this community. We have a tribute from the House of Representatives. I'd like each member of the House of Representatives to come here up to the stage. We have our President of Education, Kim. Anyone that's still here from the House of Representatives in Dover. All right, this tribute, and I don't want it just to be stuck somewhere in the desk. I want it on the walls as you open up, each and every one of them. So this tribute is from the House of Representatives. It extends sincere wishes and directs a tribute to be presented on this particular day, and it's signed by our Speaker of the House, the first female Speaker of the House, Valerie Longhurst, myself, and all members of the House of Representatives. So thank you. I know I went over my time, but I want him to know I'm an alumni, and I was on the cheering squad at Bancroft, too. Maurice? Pritchett. Maurice? Pritchett. Thank you. God bless.
All right, thank you, Representative Bolden. At this time, we will be calling up from the Wilmington Learning Collaborative, Dr. Laura Burgos. Please give her your attention, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am excited to join you today on behalf of the Wilmington Learning Collaborative. While we are just moments away from cutting through the opening day ribbon, I know that the real celebration will begin and will come from the teaching and learning experience we are able to cultivate within the walls of this amazing new building. Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy will lead the charge of the Wilmington Learning Collaborative with bold new ideas and solutions transcending school walls and impacting the city at large, including the other 8 school communities that make up our cross-district network. Today marks the beginning of a new era, and with that comes a collective responsibility to ensure that Pritchett Academy becomes an exemplar for the Wilmington education experience. The opening of school doors is just the first step in a much larger narrative around how we foster innovation, fueled by a belief that all children can be successful. The Wilmington Learning Collaborative is honored to stand alongside Pritchett Academy leaders, educators, families, and community partners on a journey toward redefining Wilmington education, one that puts students first, connects city schools across district lines, and invests in purposeful partnerships. Today is a beautiful day in Wilmington. Let's come together to ensure that the legacy of Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy is more than ceremonial, but sustainable, more than transactional, but transformational, more than an event, but a movement that marks the evolution of education in the city of Wilmington. Together, with an unwavering commitment to change, we can arrive at a shared belief that our children can if we will. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Burgos. It's almost that time, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you, I assure you. At this time, we will have the president of the board for the Christina School District. He will come forward, Mr. Donald Patton.
He said I have 5 minutes, but I'm going to take about 2. So first let me, because I'm here on behalf of the Christina School District Board, so any board members, could you please stand up, please? Any of our board members present? Vice President, Ms. Alethea Smith-Tucker, Amy's Trouts in the back. I saw Monica Moriak. Monica Moriak. Anyone else? Did I miss any? YF Lou had to leave, but he was here. Thank you very much. So this is a special treat for me because Maurice was a mentor for me. When I became an administrator in the Christiana School District, Maurice Pritchett took me under his wings and taught me the things that I did not know and helped me as I was going along the way for many years. I want to thank, I just met her today for the first time, Mr. Vasso's wife, and because Mr. Vasso and Maurice were like twin brothers. If you saw one, you saw the other. Juanita, I want to thank you for all the text messages, all the spiritual, uplifting messages recently. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Marty, Andre, Dwayne, and Danielle. And Danielle, I have to pay you because you were one of my cheering squad leaders. So thank you very much for the calls and the texts and the messages. About 3 weeks ago, I was having a conversation, and I found out that the governor and the Secretary of Education were a little upset because we didn't have an administrator in this building. And so I sit down and I talk to a person that some people won't even understand how much she's given. But I talked to Dr. Joyner to figure out how we can make this right. We can't have people putting all this money into this school and not have a leader, a transformational leader. a person who was going to come in and make sure that our kids get what they need. And so Dr. Joyner said, I don't see any other person to do this other than myself. So I want to thank her. She could have appointed someone else, but she said, this is a time that requires me to step up. So this school is going to open with a transformational leader and someone who has pulled together a team that makes me proud to say to the governor and those who've invested, the legislators who've invested in this building, that it won't be just students moving from across the street to a new building. It'll be a transformational leader who is working with the staff and the students and the families to make sure the students have a better outcome than they've had. And I want to leave with this. I've been on this board for 4 years. And in the 4 years, this is the beginning of the 4th year, I have never been so optimistic about the future of the students in the city of Wilmington as a result of the leaders that we will have in all 4 of our schools this coming year. Can we give them a round of applause with their staff, please? And lastly, Juanita, I love you. I praise you. This building is named after Maurice Pritchett Sr., but I remember the days when you were right alongside of him, when you tutored students in the Storm and Norman Oliver program with him. And I remember the last time I saw him was with you, and I remember those words, and I've repeated them before, when he said to me, I'm proud of you, and I love you, and that will always stay in my heart. Thank you very much.
All right, so our final speaker today, I don't need to give an introduction. Thank you, Mr. Patton, for leading in. You heard it first from him, our Deputy Superintendent, Chief Academic Officer, who said that I want to be involved and I want to make sure that our students are in a very good place. So at this time, I'd like to welcome her to the stage to address all of you. Dr. Joyner. That's my fault.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Esteemed guests, dedicated staff, students, and community members. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you today as me and my team, officially open the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy. As Deputy Superintendent of the Christina School District, I cannot express how thrilled I am to embark upon this exciting journey with an incredible team that has worked tirelessly to bring this vision to life. Growing up in this area, I have a deep-rooted connection to the East Side community and its educational history. My father attended Bancroft, my uncle, and they were both part of the state champion track team in 1955. We have cherished photographs from the 50s and all those distinctive men of the 60s called the Crew right at my family's home today, reminding us of the lasting impact that dedicated educators like Mr. Pritchett had on students' lives. So standing here today amidst the stunning architecture of this magnificent building fills me with immense pride and gratitude. The Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy is not just a school, it's a beacon of hope and opportunity for our students, our families, and community members, as well as the city of Wilmington as a whole. This state-of-the-art facility is designed with a lot of modern concepts that will revolutionize the way our kids learn and engage with their education. The open learning areas encourage collaboration and creativity, allowing students to work together and share ideas in a dynamic environment. Our flexible auditorium is a versatile space that will host a variety of events, from performances to, I hope, community gatherings, and fostering a sense of togetherness and pride. Every carefully thought out feature in this school has been meticulously planned to enhance student success and well-being. The project was not a solitary endeavor. It was a community effort. Countless individuals and organizations came together so that this school would be a place where our students can thrive academically, socially, and emotionally. The commitment of our community has been truly inspiring, and I'm confident that the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy will serve as a valuable asset for decades to come. So as we welcome our students to this incredible facility this fall, let us remember that we are not just building a school, we are cultivating leaders of tomorrow. Together, we will empower our students to reach their goals, their fullest potential, carry forward the legacy of Mr. Pritchett, and make a lasting impact on our community. I want to thank you all for your support, and here's to a bright future ahead at the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy. I wanted to really quick, there were a lot of names called today, and there are a lot of folks that work behind the scenes, and I just wanted to call those names very quickly because we are appreciative, because without them, we would not be here today. We've heard Governor Carney, Mr. Saran Cade, Mr. Tim Ogden, the entire team at Whiting Turner, Mr. George Wicks, Mr. Paul Dunford, Ms. Crystal Greenfield, Ms. April Johnson, the Bancroft Pritchett staff, our board for all the approvals, our new assistant principals, Dr. Sean Todd, Dr. Sharon Hill, and even our past principals, such as Mr. Ingram here. So I was given a list of folks to thank, and I wanted to make sure that we called those names today. So thank you all very much.
All right. Maurice! Maurice! I need you, if you're seated at this time, I need you to stand up for me, please, because at this time I am going to call up Miss Juanita Pritchett and her family to the stage. Give them a round of applause, please.
Please be seated. Good afternoon, distinguished guests and friends. On this joyous, historic day, I first say, God be the glory. I and my family humbly give thanks to Governor Carney, Delaware State University, and legislative entities at all levels, city, county, and state. Thank you. To the board members, superintendent of the Christina School District, petition signers, members of the Delaware Historical Society, and those in charge of the Bancroft estate, I thank you. Here with me today to say thanks to our sons, Maurice, Andre, Dwayne, and daughter Danielle with their families. Maurice's sister, Beverly Matthews, and her family. His brother Carlton could not be here today. The now matriarch of the family, Alberta Ponzo. My family members who have traveled from afar, please raise your hand, any family member. And then what I call the group, and you know the group, that's the Curtises and the Masons. Maurice was at Bancroft 35 years, left and came back, but somehow 53 Curtises went through that building while he was there. He had a seat for them in his office. There were those who didn't have to sit, but there were many who did. Here with me today also is Mrs. Barbara Vassos, Peter Vassos' wife. Maurice and Pete were like brothers. She expresses her thanks also. I want to also thank the administrators of Bancroft who served while my husband was there, and those staff members, secretaries, teachers, custodians, cafeteria workers. These people came early and stayed late, and the test scores were good. Of course, I see many friends, and I say thank you to you too for the support over the years. My husband had a passion and mission to help meet the needs of children, and he drew in others who also shared that same passion. Parents, members of the PTA, the Oates, the Seals, the Staffords, the Baileys, the Wrights, Amir Garrett, Bonnie Mooker, the Doc Hill, who gave him his scholarship to DSU, and many others. I thank you. I met Maurice on the campus of Delaware State University, an HBCU. And I'm going to tell you something about him that's not on the wall and that you have never heard before. Maurice, when I got on campus, was a good-looking young man, quite wise and smart. And he made an astute, wise comment to me. He said, "Hey girl, I want to talk to you." I was hooked. 4 years on campus, 55 years, I was hooked. You know that song, those of you with Little Gray. What's your name? Is it Mary or Sue? That was our song. Gee whiz, I love that man. Maurice was a Kappa. The Kappas wear red. Any Kappas in the house? Any Kappas in the house? All right. And the Kappas' significant others are the Silhouettes, and they wear red. Any Silhouettes in the house? All right. My buddies. They wear red, and I will always be Maurice Pritchett's lady in red. Always. Always. I'm a pearl, pink and green, but first, I'm his lady in red. Red is the color of love in February. It's the love month. Now, as I close, as I began with these remarks, and you have heard them before, you have read them. These three, faith, hope, and love. Faith was what the governor had as he worked with his people down there at the Capitol, talking, trying to find the money to bring a school here on the east side of Wilmington. Thank you. That was faith. He had to get the backing. Hope. That was what the plans were about. You have to plan. Plan then, and they're planning now. Even as these doors open next week, plans have been made for these children this year and many more years. But the greatest of these is love. Love is the one that drives it all. And I want to say that. When I was teaching, my area was English. So I love ironies and motifs. And I looked at this building and I said, my, 4 steps. 4 steps for people entering this building. First step, L. Second step, O. Third step, V. Fourth step, E, love. That's what is needed. Nothing happens unless there's the love. And as the children enter and receive love, they will leave. They will grow up, go out, serve this community, serve the city, serve the state as citizens. They will travel to other states, and they will serve also there as citizens. And some of them will even travel overseas and give service, all because of the love that they got from here. They will carry that love that they received from the Maurice Pritchett Senior Academy. Maurice had that love, and his staff, and the community, and the many parents. These children, as they leave, will heal the world because of the love given to them here. So let's give love when we wake up in the morning. During the day, give love. As you finish up your day, think about the love that you gave and end it with love. And we will all, along with the students here, heal the world with love. It's love. I love you, and I thank you.
All right. Are there any students that are here? Are there any Maurice Pritchett Academy students soon to be in the crowd? Are you here? If you're here, if you could make your way to these steps. Anyone? Anyone? Come on, come on. Come on, give them a hand. Come on, any students that are coming here in 1 week, just about. Come on up. Also, the governor and some of our elected officials, if you would come up at this time, we are going to cut the ribbon so we can get this started. Give it up again. Maurice! Maurice! Let's go behind them. Go behind them. Go behind them with us. Go behind. Go behind. You should go behind them. Go behind. All right, can we get one more round of applause before we get this ribbon cutting? Outstanding. All right, as you are taking your pictures, I just want to give you a layout of what's about to happen. Continue to take pictures. This is an amazing event, 50 years in the making. But as we close out, I just want to leave you with something I believe Mr. Pritchett would have shared or would have wanted me to share with all of you. For those of you who don't know, I was the close to immediate principal when Mr. Pritchett left. So I share that with you only to say that even when he left what was formerly Bancroft, now becoming the Pritchett Academy, his love of the community and students extended beyond that. When I stepped foot into Bancroft in 2009-10, I was afraid, not physically, but just afraid of being able to fill his shoes. And what he said to me regularly and often was, "You can do this. This is possible for you, and I'm going to help you." His mentorship those following years were critical to us continuing to hold the torch that he lit in 1975. So as we leave out today, I give you an acronym for Lions of what I think that he would want you to know about the future Lions that are about to come into this building. The L for Lions is that every student that comes through this building is going to live out their dreams. The I is going to be that they are going to be involved and take full advantage of every opportunity. And if there aren't opportunities, they are going to make them. The O is going to stand for them outlasting anything or anyone that is trying to hold them back. The N is going to be for them to never give up. Fall 7, get up 8. And finally, the S, this is for my young students. Some of you probably don't know this, but there's something they say, stand on business, right? So the S is for stand on business is they are going to do what they say they're going to do and be a positive force in making a difference in every life that they come in contact with. So that's the Lions that are coming through this door in the next 2 weeks, Bancroft Lions. So thank you for your time today. We're super excited about this, and we will have an opportunity to get some tours that'll be happening here in the building soon thereafter. Thank you very much. Moon bounces, DJ, food is also going to be on the side for those of you who would like to partake.